Hello and welcome to the Kindness Initiative volunteer training sessions. Thank you so much for committing time and energy to assist financially vulnerable Jewish households in San Diego County. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." They say if you change just one life, you've changed the world forever. And that is our business at the Kindness Initiative, changing lives. I'm Selwyn Isiko, and I have been concerned about Jewish poverty in San Diego for a while. In mid-2019, we finally undertook a community study to assess the situation. As part of a broader consulting study, an expert in the field of Jewish demographics and poverty in particular, hired by the consultants, determined that there were about 9,000 Jews living in poverty in San Diego County, and another approximately 5,000 households, or about 12,000 individuals, living on the edge. In total, about 20% of our local Jewish population are financially vulnerable. This analysis was completed at the very end of 2019, before the pandemic, so we know that the numbers are higher now. In Deuteronomy, we are informed that there will always be poor Jews, and that it is our obligation to assist these fellow Jews. It's not a choice, but a spiritual obligation. This 7-module video volunteer training program will cover many of the aspects of volunteering for the Kindness Initiative. In Module 1, I will discuss the background and rationale for how and why we started the Kindness Initiative. In Module 2, you will learn about the Kindness Service Model and how volunteers are the backbone of the organization's effectiveness. Module 3 and 4 will describe the details of various volunteer roles. And Module 5 discusses our case management process and how to effectively operate as a volunteer. Module 6, entitled Helping with Compassion, by Dr. Michael Mantell, discusses how to build trusted relationships with our members and with each other. Dr. Mantell will also hold periodic virtual question and answer sessions throughout the year on difficult issues volunteers may or have encountered. Module 7 is a primer on how to use Slack, our communications tool and tracking system. This will be described by Steve Schulman of High Clarity. Slack is easy to use, and I know this because even I can do this. Of course, you also have your volunteer handbook to refer to, and always know that our staff is here to help and support you as kindness volunteers. In this session, we will describe the genesis of the Kindness Initiative. The demographic study I referred to earlier was part of a larger study on Jewish poverty in San Diego. It was sponsored by Jewish Federation, the Jewish Community Foundation, JFS, and the Isiko Foundation. The consulting team delved into not only whether Jewish poverty is an issue in San Diego County, but also who needs assistance, what assistance do they need, and why have they not received this assistance in the past, and most importantly, how can we alleviate their situations and create a self-sufficiency going forward. While there were many, many findings and recommendations of this overall study, some of the key challenges identified were that there is a limited community awareness of poverty issues, and that many of the commonly held assumptions, biases, and beliefs held by the community are inaccurate, that poverty is more pervasive than expected, and that the needs of this vulnerable community are diverse, and most households have multiple needs. The study also found that local Jewish organizations did not adequately meet these needs, and that other cities found it was neither feasible nor advisable to have one organization provide all services. Collaborations were much more effective. And in fact, there are many other local service providers and government benefit programs available, but they are not being effectively utilized by our community. In fact, Jews in San Diego are among the least effective users of available state, local, federal, or communal benefits. There appear to be two primary reasons why there is such a low utilization of outside services. Unfortunately, there is personal pride, emotion, and shame associated with requesting assistance in our culture. This is totally unnecessary because we are here to help. We are Jews helping Jews, just fulfilling our duty. The second and more pervasive reason that we don't use these services is that it is so complex and difficult to identify, navigate, and access services, particularly when one is facing emotional stresses of poverty. This slide illustrates visually how confusing it can be just to figure out where to go. And this is just a partial representation of services available. And the same is true of local, state, and federal programs as well. Perhaps even more daunting, particularly in light of the fact that applying for an additional program can impact one's existing benefits. The study and further analysis also determined that many services that are needed are just not available locally, and that there are no community standards of care or oversight, no single point of entry or information hub, or adequate supplemental financial aid options for our community in need. The consultants found that existing programs were delivered with little empathy and understanding, and typically oriented to a quick fix or, sorry, that's all we can do for you, with little commitment to longer-term solutions. All of these factors resulted in users lacking confidence in the Jewish community's ability to assist them in their time of need. The study, as well as a community convening that was part of the latter part of the study, and further analysis after the study, identified many projects that were needed to attempt to address all these other challenges that I just mentioned. These 81 projects fell into 13 categories, including community education, identification of those in need, emergency and affordable housing, nutrition, medical services, transportation, employment, and fundraising. Each category having several projects, some of which we would delay until the first projects were completed. That study identified many challenges and voids in servicing vulnerable Jews. After additional analysis, interviews, and planning, the Kindness Initiative was formed to attempt to address these issues and improve the system of support for vulnerable Jewish households. The Kindness Initiative is an independent program, and we appreciate the assistance of the Jewish Federation as our initial fiscal sponsor. Our mission is to alleviate poverty in the San Diego Jewish community. And our vision is to create an efficient and effective framework to meet basic physical and psychological needs of vulnerable Jewish households. And we want to do this with dignity, kindness, and the traditional Jewish values. And we do this through organizational collaborations. In other words, we do not want to reinvent the wheel or duplicate effective services already offered by others, but rather to enhance the service of those organizations already established. We also utilize an extensive volunteer corps to assist the vulnerable and to find innovative solutions to fill the gaps in service, or what we refer to as service voids, that we have identified. Maintaining and enhancing our members' dignity is a cornerstone of the Kindness Initiative. This is why we created a membership model so that we have members, not clients or patients. You will learn more about this in Module 2 of the training. Our culture of thinking outside the traditional box and our objectives of the Kindness Initiative make us a disruptor in a service segment that hasn't been challenged for decades. We are unique in so many ways. We are client-centric, not service line driven. We must meet every need of each of our members, however uncommon that need might be. We take a long-term customized approach to each of our members, providing dignity, efficiency, and hope, and not expecting short-term solutions or you're out of here. There is no carrot or stick at the Kindness Initiative. We are addressing, not avoiding, service gaps and reaching into the shadows, not accepting Jews opting out of community support. We work together through collaborations with other organizations and are not protective of any service line we might offer. Our focus is on minimizing overhead and costs, not expanding our infrastructure. Every dollar possible is used to assist those in need. And we won't accept funding that constrains our mission to serve all Jews in need. Overall, we are disrupting conventional wisdom and mobilizing the community so that all organizations can benefit and all Jewish households can expect their community's assistance when they find themselves in need. In the next volunteer training module, you will learn about our membership model for vulnerable households, the various volunteer roles, how we collaborate with outside service provider organizations, how volunteers and service provider organizations, as well as our own internal programs, fill service voids and create a comprehensive kindness client assistance model. And the organizational structure of the Kindness Program Administration will also be clarified in the next session. Should you have any questions, please email us at info@kindnesssd.org. And I thank you for attending Module 1 of the volunteer training course of the Kindness Initiative. And again, thank you for donating your time by volunteering to assist others. Thank you.